Hello, Rob from Fountain Pen Journey with my predictions, fountain pen predictions for 2023. I did one of these a couple of years ago, and it was quite interesting seeing what I think is going to happen and what actually did happen. So I thought I'd do another one for 2023 because it was an interesting concept. Some of my predictions were quite correct and some of them were way off. So here we go. What are my predictions for 2023? Right. Working in manufacturing, I have seen ever more restrictions in supply chain availability of components, materials, things like that. And 2023 was not bad at the start. 2022 was a bit bad. 2023 started off a bit worse. And by the end of 2022 started off a bit worse and got way worse as the year has progressed, which is kind of strange because I think that the global economy is squeezing a lot of manufacturing. Availability of raw materials has been squeezed. The price of basically everything has gone shooting up. So yeah, if you can afford it, you can buy it, but you may have to wait for it. Now, the knock-on effect of that is that a lot of fountain pens are short on raw materials. I'm seeing way more reused. Yeah, I'll go with reused. Look at Pen BBS Amber as a Cat. Absolutely gorgeous acrylic, love it. Probably, if there's any availability of acrylics like that, we're going to see them incorporated in way more brands than the original one. So, you know, say for example, you've got a Pen BBS 308 in Amber as a Cat. A few years ago, you may see that acrylic in one or two other manufacturers, usually in the same region, so China. I think we're going to see more and more of the same materials being used, because if somebody is actually going to produce an acrylic, for example, there's a good chance that they are going to produce a bigger batch, or one batch and not loads of little batches of all sorts of different things. So that is something that I think we're going to see more and more of throughout 2023 into 2024 because of the supply chain and material issues. If somebody makes a pen in a, I don't know, a blue acrylic, say, which turns out to be quite attractive or popular, I think we're going to see other manufacturers using that exact same material. So that is something that is both a good and a bad thing, because there are some really nice acrylics out there, and it's nice to see them incorporated into other pen models and designs. 2023, what else? Well, I think we can probably expect about 25 special editions from Kaweco of the Kaweco Sport in all markets across the world, which will be retailer exclusives, which will become unobtainable, which will probably be overpriced. Yeah, Kaweco, I got your number. I've seen what you did. You basically came along in 2022 and cramped the Chinese completely by taking on the trademark of Delike and all the Moonman brands, stopping them from trading, and now everything's Marjon, called Marjon and very generic, and now we're all kind of stuck with generic Chinese stuff. And it's almost like, to compensate, you basically said, we're going to produce so many special editions in the same damn colours, which will be also retailer exclusive, so everyone's going to have to pay more for them and pay more for import duties and all the rest of it. Yeah, it's not cool. Kaweco, you're not cool. There will be at least 2 special edition or 2023 special edition Lamy Safaris, and I suspect we will see at least 2 Pelikan M200s. God knows what colour they're going to be this year. I'd like to think that it might be a green. Now, Pelikan has been a bit weird with their special editions for each year recently, mainly because of supply chain issues since 2020. They couldn't get the material for the nibs, and the knock-on effect is that, you know, you can't sell fountain pens without a nib. Necessarily, it's not what people expect to get, and I think that's been a bit of an issue. So, you know, 2022, still waiting on the Pelikan M200 or M205 teal colour, which I was really looking forward to, and I actually saved all the pennies together to buy it, because I was expecting it at the end of November. In the UK, we're still waiting, and it's the end of December as I'm recording this video, with absolutely no sign of that Pelikan ever materialising. But I suspect it may end up in early part of 2021, before March, and then we'll get, if you like, the special edition for 2023, latter end of 2023, if they sort the supply chain issues out. Otherwise, I think what we're ending up in is, it's a bit like Apple with the Apple, call it the iPhone 14, and then they release a special edition a few months later, so they don't impact their sales of one or the other. And Pelikan's kind of getting into that cycle in a weird way. 2 special editions expected every year, one gets delayed, gets released the following year, and I think this is going to end up as a rolling thing. So whether Pelikan will get back on track and release their 2023 special edition in 2023 or 2024 is debatable right now. I'm not seeing a lot of improvement, but I do know that Pelikan now have broad nibs in their repertoire, so you can get a Pelikan broad nib in a lot more markets these days, so that's good. Chinese manufacturers, I think we're unlikely to see anything major from Pen BBS. I think they're probably going to release a handful they may release 1 or 2 new designs, which would probably be based on piston or vac filling mechanisms, or some weird piston type mechanism that they dream up, which I hope works. Pen BBS, I diss them quite a lot, but at the end of the day, I like to see innovation, but I like to see innovation done right and it work how it should. And their recent forays into different types of filling system have not gone particularly well. So I am expecting to see 1 or 2 pens from Pen BBS, and as usual, they will go on the Etsy store, and the Pen BBS fanboys and girls will snap them up within 24 hours. So unless you're really interested in those, then you can pretty much write off Pen BBS for next year as well. Yeah, not being very prolific at the moment. Jinhao, don't know if Jinhao are really going to do very much. I mean, they surprised me in 2022 with the Jinhao 80, which I absolutely love. I think it's a fantastic pen. It goes back to Jinhao's roots of being a really great value fountain pen. Writes fantastically, looks good, is cheap, it's affordable. Thank God it's a Chinese pen which doesn't cost 30 to 50 pounds. Too many of those, and Chinese, maybe they're going to figure out, you know, you can't churn out fountain pens in the upper budget section of £45 in the Western market without going, you know what, we're up against some great competition. This pen has got to be either absolutely fantastic, absolutely beautiful, or really good value. And you know, when you're looking at £45 upwards, and same goes for Pen BBS, you know, £45 upwards for a fountain pen from China, which, you know, writes meh, it's okay, it writes, the nib's okay. Yeah, you can get more for your money if you just want to spend an extra few pounds, or even spend less money. And the Jinhao 80 is a fantastic example of that, and I would love to see the Jinhao 80 in a lot more colours in 2023. I suspect it might happen because I think it's been quite a good seller for Jinhao, and their Jinhao 100 Centennial, whatever you want to call it, has been a really good seller. It's a fantastic fountain pen, great value, $10 to $20, £10 to £20. In my mind, yeah, that's the right price. It's worth it. I'd like to see some nice acrylic Jinhao 100 Centennials, because some of the acrylics they've used, I think they've found those acrylic rods in the back of a factory somewhere, which really shouldn't have been used, because they're just not nice colours, just not what I really want to buy. I'd like to collect them because I love the design. The Duofold 100 Centennial is a really great design. And the Jinhao version of that fountain pen, you know, it ticks all the boxes. It's cheap, it's affordable, it's a great looking design. I like it a lot, but the acrylics have been not really to my taste. So yeah, I'm hoping that the 100 Jinhao 100 will come out in some nicer acrylics if they're available in 2023. Whether we're going to see any more designs from Jinhao, don't know. I didn't think that we really would see very much from Jinhao for a few years after 2020, but thankfully, yeah, they seem to be making a bit of a comeback, because Moonman, as you know, the brand has been dissolved and taken away because of Kaweco, and they're all now Marjon. So every Chinese fountain pen, other than a few like Kaigaloo, Jinhao, is Marjon. Basically, all the non-branded stuff is Marjon, and Jinhao is thankfully doing a good job. So I'm quite appreciative of that. What other predictions are there? I think the Diamine Inkvent calendar, yeah, there'll be another one of those, and it'll be another bunch of inks that, quite honestly, you would not buy individually. But people love opening the doors and swatching that little bottle of ink every day, and going, look, it's this, and yeah. I think the fun of that a few years ago, go back to my fountain pen journey, maybe in 2018, I would have been all over it, but quite honestly, for the price of one of their calendars, for a bunch of inks which I'd probably not use, no, I'm not interested in that. There may be 2 or 3 inks out of the whole Inkvent calendar for that year, which I may purchase, but yeah. Inks is a bit of an issue with me, because I've got more than enough ink now. I've got every colour and every type of ink which I'd probably ever want to use, more of it than I'd ever use. So ink, not for me now. I'm suspecting, yes, there will be a lot more special edition inks. I know Reddit, the community there, has got a special ink that they have been working on, 2 inks. And we're seeing more and more of these exclusive market inks available, which, if you're into it, fair play, carry on, knock yourself out, enjoy yourself. I'm not. I just kind of, no. I've got plenty of ink. I've got everything that I need ink-wise. Fountain pens, what else? Whoa, let's see. I'm sure there'll be a lot more special editions and limited editions of Sailor and Platinum fountain pens, but I'm not really into those brands particularly. Certainly not at the prices they are sold at. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Not a lot of predictions, because I think 2021 and 2022 were actually pretty quiet years for the fountain pen community. I'm hoping that 2023 will be a much more pleasant year in the fountain pen community. I've seen some absolutely abhorrent comments and beliefs in 2022 in the fountain pen community. I've had comments on this channel, but I've also been online, you know, whatever platform you use, be it Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, all those social media platforms which form part of the fountain pen community. In 2022, I've seen some absolutely shocking, unacceptable behaviour, and it's made me question the validity of a lot of fountain pen users, because when I first started Fountain Pen Journey 5 years ago, it mainly came across as being quite a nice, pleasant, helpful, supportive community. And I've seen in 2022 the absolute worst of people. There have been some really, really awful comments, and I've seen some extreme views, both from individuals and also, sadly to say, some of the retailers. And I think you've discredited not only yourselves, but also the fountain pen community. And unfortunately, the world is a bit of a funny place. It always has been. It's never been really different, but now people have got access to the entire internet and the entire globe just through using their computers and their smartphones and things. When you really want to see how ugly people are and their behaviour can be, unfortunately, 2022, that really came out, and there was a number of fountain pen controversies surrounding noodlers, Goulet pens, who sort of basically did what the UK government does and sort of supports them, and then immediately shoots them and says, no, they're bad people, we're not doing that. And of course, you've lost your reputation, you've lost the respect of your actual customers, and the customers are the ones who spend their money with you. So a lot of brand damage was done this year through noodlers. There's the whole Narwhal, Narvler versus Twisby thing. What else happened? SBRE Brown, quite rightly, has put comments on his social media about some of the comments that he has received. And I think the world has always been a nasty place full of nasty people. And unfortunately, the fountain pen community in 2022 has highlighted themselves as being equally, if not more, bigoted than anybody else. I'm sorry to say it, guys, and I hope you guys that do like to leave nice, positive comments actually agree with me, because it's not a pleasant world. It's not a pleasant hobby to be in right now. I'm seeing even more one-upmanship on fountain pen groups. I mean, fountain pen meetings. Pelican Hubs happened in 2022, and they will no doubt happen in 2023, hopefully in a lot more... in a lot bigger fashion. But pen meetings, my God, pen meetings, it's almost like, well, I can afford a Ferrari, you can't. That seems to be the way it's gone. It's like, it's not a pleasant community, guys. I'm really quite shocked at how it's been in 2022. So I'm hoping for 2023 to be a much improved community for the fountain pen world. It's not good. Really, really not good. So there's my predictions for 2023. I have hope and I do have faith. But I have reservations as well. I'm not going to jump wholeheartedly into 2023 in the fountain pen world, because I think we're still in a bit of a mess, and it's up to all of us, each and every one of us. I'm a content producer on YouTube talking about fountain pens. You're a viewer. How are you going to behave? What are you going to do in 2023 to make fountain pens a more positive thing to be part of? I'll see you next time. Bye.